Chapter 22, Midnight Caller. My head snapped up and my hands instinctively clenched into fists, the involuntary response of those who must always be on guard. Adrenaline flooded my body, preparing me for fight or flight. Where was I? Why was I in total darkness? My eyes were open but not seen. Suddenly, the momentary confusion was shattered by a loud shrill. Understanding came flooding back. The phone. I had been fast asleep when I was abruptly called from the unconsciousness of slumber into a world of blackness and blaring technology. The phone rang for the third time. I glanced at my alarm clock. 2:10 a.m. What idiot is calling me at 2 o'clock in the morning? I grumbled to myself as my numb, blood-starved arm reached for the receiver. Often we remember the really big decisions we make in life, while never acknowledging that there were hundreds of little decisions that led us up to that colossal moment in time. I had answered the phone thousands of times before, but no other phone call would have the long-lasting impact on my life as this one did. I was tempted to answer rudely, but then realized this could be an emergency, and answered with the standard hello. I had to press the phone hard against my ear because the voice on the other end of the line was speaking in hushed tones. He told me that he worked for my associate and that he was given the job of relaying an important message to me. Lying there in the dark, I felt the confusion begin to creep back into my head. Why wouldn't my associate pass on the important message to me himself? We'd only seen each other face to face 6 hours before. The man on the other end of the phone answered this unasked question with his next words. They rocked my world. My associate had given me a promise, and I had foolishly believed him. His words were so full of confidence, so full of conviction, that I had taken them and built a little fortress out of them, a fortress that waved its banner proudly. The fortress was the idea that we were beyond the long arm of the law, that we were untouchable. Our banner confidently proclaimed in bold letters, "Crime does indeed pay." The explanation from the other end of the line smashed against my little fortress like a huge battering ram, utterly demolishing it and trampling its banner into the dirt. He quietly informed me that my associate was in jail as we spoke. A few short hours after he declared the immortal words, "We will never get caught," he ended up selling drugs to two men he thought were big-time buyers. He quickly learned they were really undercover cops who had kept him under close surveillance for months. They had tapped his phones, monitoring his calls. They had been taking pictures of his house with special long-distance cameras, carefully keeping track of all the faces that went in and out of his house. And now they had him, and they were coming for me. The voice on the other end of the line ended the conversation by forbidding future contact with my associate until further notice. Hanging up the receiver, I flew out of bed and hit the light switch. I dressed quickly and began to scour my house for any evidence that could incriminate me. In an instant, my bedroom exploded in a fury of frantic activity. They may have pictures of me and even a few incriminating phone messages, but they would want something solid, something tangible. They would want evidence, and they would be coming here to find it. I spent the best part of the next hour gathering items and putting them into a large gym bag. Soon I had the ultimate criminal starter kit, filled to capacity: drugs, guns, buyers, phone lists, needles, pill bottles, all crammed into a bag that was ironically meant to be used for health and fitness. I needed to get rid of all incriminating evidence. It's amazing how one short phone call can totally revamp your understanding about something. Before the phone call, I viewed the law as the old family dog who lay around the yard all day, barking occasionally, and having to eat mushy soft food because his teeth were rotten and loose. Now it seemed that the old dog had died, and there was a new dog in the yard. This one was big and scary, hungry for blood. It had a nose to track down its prey, and it had teeth with which to bite and punish. I needed to keep away from those teeth. I needed to dispose of the gym bag and to make myself scarce. They had come looking for me here. I had to hide. I headed out into the shadows of the night, running from the law, trying to prolong the inevitable, determined to keep an arm's distance away from those nasty, sharp teeth.